This is Jason with Chicago News. We got the 2017 Acura MDX. The front fascia of this MDX is really beautiful. It's got all these different elements to the light, but it really works. In the shape of the grille, they've really done an excellent job. It's a great looking SUV. Let's check out the 3.5 liter V6. Wait a second. There's nothing but plastic here. It must be in there somewhere. This is a luxury premium SUV from Acura's brand, so we thought we'd bring it here to the yacht club where it belongs. There's lots of premium features, but to access this third row of seats, there's a really convenient feature that flips and slides the seat all in one motion. Really well thought out, although the rear and the third row is really only sized for children. Being in the MDX, you really get the sense that you're in a luxury vehicle. Acura has always been the luxury arm and the luxury brand for Honda. It hasn't always felt that way. It really does now. They've really stepped up the interior quality, materials, and this car is packed with technology. This Acura has some of the best safety features we've seen. It has all of the active safety features that you expect these days, but they actually work really well. The lane assist feature is so good that even though we don't suggest you try it, on the highway you can let your hands off the steering wheel for 20-30 seconds. It'll stay right in the center of the lane. A lot of the other systems bounce kind of back and forth through the lane trying to find their way. Now that I've had a chance to drive this more on the highway, I found a couple problems with the lane assist. First of all, in heavy traffic, when the traffic got below 5 miles an hour, the brakes were actually stuck on. It was trying to stop me even though the car in front had accelerated away. The other thing I found is if you use too light of a grip on the steering wheel, which they teach you when you're doing high performance driving, to not grip the wheel too tight, it actually thinks you're not steering and it starts warning you. So there's a couple systems with the autonomous driving or the active safety features that could use some improvement. Some of the materials in the interior that Acura has chosen are fantastic. You've got really beautiful wood trim, aluminum inlays, and one of the things I like the most is they didn't go overboard. There's not too many different colors and materials, which really adds to the refinement that you feel in here. Pretty much every luxury vehicle these days has automatic climate control. You set your temperature. What's great here is that you've got actual automatic seat temperature control. So as you change the temperature of the HVAC, it changes your seat to match. Like we've talked about in several other cars, there's two LCD displays here. One of them is more for information, the other for control. We understand the reason behind this, especially with more and more devices coming with touchscreen capabilities. People are getting used to controlling things with a touchscreen, but we just wish that it was a little nicer looking of a display. So not only does this have auto start stop, it's got one of our favorite features, which is brake hold, and that means that at a light, with feet off of both pedals, the car doesn't start to roll on its own until you hit the gas. What's interesting with the start stop also, when you touch the gas, it starts the car. So if you want to, you can just kick the car on and it doesn't start to move until you hit the gas a second time. One of the biggest differences we've noticed, even though this car is packed with just as many features as its European counterparts, is that there's a lot more buttons. There's a lot of more different ways to control things. We like the simplicity of some of the European versions, but this is packed with just as many features. There's wireless headphones for each rear seat, remote controls, there's HDMI inputs back here, DVD slot up here, and as far as just charging ports in general, you've got some 2.5 amp USBs in the center console. There's even a 120 volt outlet. There's really every kind of connection you can imagine. They didn't really leave us wanting for anything. The 3.5 liter V6 puts out 290 horsepower. It actually sounds really good as well. It's really pretty quick considering how big of a vehicle it is. And I've said before, I'm not always the biggest fan of SUVs, but when they're this size and you get the third row of seat and the extra space that the larger vehicle brings, I do see the point for this, and it's a great family vehicle. As far as efficiency, this is rated at 20 city, 27 highway. On our mostly city driving, we're getting around 20, which is pretty impressive. There are lots of different zoom modes with the cameras that allows you to customize what you're seeing on the screen. There's a great 8-speed gearbox that really does have the right ratio for whatever you need, and it's a very smooth shifting transmission. You've got several different modes here with the transmission, but there's also some driving modes that change the suspension and other parameters. You've got a dynamic mode. It really can tailor the driving experience. As far as ride comfort, it is extremely comfortable. This is a little on the stiffer side compared to some of its competitors, but that for me just means that it handles better, and this really does handle for the size it is. The body doesn't roll too much. Really good driving feeling, and it's very quiet in here as well. We're not 100% sure whether they're piping some of the engine sound through the speakers, but in this case we don't really care because it sounds great. It's not too loud, but it really lets you know that this is a sporty SUV. This MDX gives you all of the technology and luxury that you're going to get from the European counterpoints. Acura has really gotten to the point where they can match their competitors. At the same time, the price point has also grown. For $60,000, there's a lot of different options. If you're looking for a larger luxury SUV, this is one you really got to check out.